not kill him until
You can't kill him. You fight him again.
He dies. So you have to die to him?
Yeah, for some reason. It's like a revenge.
Those force. Those plot be dead.
And if you had a lot of souls, you'd be screwed.
Have plot be armor. All right.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Turn off the computer. Huh? He says no. You still play?
I know. I need to get this key first. Okay.
I do keep playing. Whoop.
I don't keep playing.
You still are.
Come on.
It will.
All right. Will you like me do pretzels while reading?
Girl, you just said uwu.
You're an uwu girl?
No, that's what yes! Yes, he is! You're lying. Because you literally just said uwu. How are you going to L me, uwu girl?
All right, Char. Let's get hydration, my friend. Okay, let's do food and hydration. Let's get it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
you can. The collection and Paul's plan. Now, when it comes to the collection for God's people, all right, I'm just going to go do my own thing and let me know when you're ready. You sure?
Yeah. No, I have a better idea. Okay.
You sure?
I'm good.
All right. Every time you're distracted, I'm going to start a timer. And I'm just going to do my own thing for 5 minutes, okay?
For 5 minutes.
Yep. I'll say 3 minutes. I'll be flexible, but if you allow yourself to get distracted, then I'm just going to do my own thing for 3 minutes. So I'm just not going to keep on starting, stopping, starting, stopping.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, when it comes to the collection for God's people, you should do the same as I laid down for the churches in Galatia. On the first day of each week, everyone you should set aside and store up whatever surplus you have gained, so that when I come, I won't have to take an actual collection. Then, when I get to you, I will write formal letters to send the people you approve, whoever they are, to Jerusalem with your gifts. If it's appropriate for me to go as well, we can travel together. I shall come to you when I've been through Macedonia. I intend to pass through Macedonia, you see, and I may well end up staying with you, perhaps even through the winter. Then you will be able to send me on to wherever I shall be going to next. I don't want just to see you for a short time. I'm hoping to stay with you for a while, if the Lord allows me. I shall be staying on in Ephesus until Pentecost. A huge and important door has opened for me here, and there is plenty of opposition. All right, what part's this? Okay. Advertisements in many cosmopolitan cities offer easy and efficient ways of transferring money from one part of the world to another. Many families are now divided by oceans. Sometimes those who you find work are able to support relatives back home who are not so fortunate. All you have to do is to walk into a local branch of whichever bank or travel agent is offering the required service, and within minutes your family the other side of the world will be able to collect the money. Now imagine what it will be like without telephones. Telexis? That's a very interesting word. Telexis? Telexis?
Telex.
No, Telex. We're completely wrong. Telex.
Oh, I didn't know the right word.
Telexis. Telex. This thing goes like Telex. Is that how you say it? What is a Telex? Oh, they're like home addresses. Interesting. It's like another word for home address, pretty much. Oh, I guess Germany in 1933 was the first place to pretty much inaugurate home addresses. Oh wait. Oh, it's like another word for teleprint. What? Oh wait. Oh, it's teleprinter. Okay. A communication service involving typewriters. Oh wait, I'm completely wrong. All right.
There's two meanings.
Also, a typewriter using telex.
Like the second.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, to send such messages by telex. So here we go. Okay, so it's like what you do is you message through here, and it goes beep 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 beep, and then communicates to the machine over here. That's what a telexis is. Okay, now we know. All right. And if you didn't want to say, all right. Okay, now imagine what would it be like without telephones, telexes, email, and wire transfers of various kinds. What would you do? Well, of course, you could send the money by post. If you didn't want to send actual banknotes, you would send a check or something equivalent. But what would you do if there was no paper money and no central banking system? You have to send somebody in person to carry the cash. The nature of Paul's project now becomes apparent. The little church in Jerusalem had suffered grievously by persecution, the scattering of its members, and perhaps also from the enthusiastic pooling of resources in its early days, as described in Acts. Paul had promised the Jerusalem leaders that he would continue to remember the poor. It's not clear whether they had expected Paul to keep his promise in quite this way, but he has worked out this plan and is determined to bring it into successful conclusion. He isn't just interested in raising money to help those who don't have very much. He wants this to be a sign of something more, something bigger, something so monumentous that later on, when it's all been collected and he's ready to go, he become anxious about the reaction he's going to get. The problem arises from the very purpose that Paul is using the collection for, to signal to the Gentile Christians that they are part of the same family as the Jewish Christians in Jerusalem. And more importantly still, to signal to the Jewish Christians that those Gentiles out there who have come to faith in Jesus as the Messiah and the true Lord of the world are part of the same family as they are, even though they haven't become Jews in the process. That was the issue Paul faced in Galatians. Now he has developed this plan for the collection as a long-term strategy for making both sides of the great ethnic divide in the early church understand the truth of the matter. So this letter, which has addressed the problem of divisions within the church and of the urgent need for love at the heart of everything, bring it all into focus with a practical, hard-headed scheme. And now he's concerned about the detailed arrangements for making it all work. Paul has, it seems, already made arrangements for the churches in central Turkey to contribute in this way. He has now planned to travel around northern Greece, Macedonia in his day, including the area where Philippi and Thessalonica are, and then come south to Corinth. And when he arrives, he doesn't want to have to start a fundraising campaign from scratch. He wants them, all of them, not just the wealthy, to put something aside on the first day of every week. This is the first mention in the New Testament of a special significance being given to Sunday. Some will give a wry smile at the thought that the first time anyone refers to Sunday, the point at issue is taking collection. We should be glad, though, that the church from the very beginning was called to share its resources. Then there will be the business of how the money is to be taken. Much better that the churches themselves should commission other people to take it than that Paul and his traveling companions should do it by themselves. However much people trust Paul, there is no point in leaving a loophole for potential accusations of fraud. Much better, too, that actual Gentile Christians should come with Paul so that they can meet the Jewish part of the family face to face. Though this good idea became the flashpoint for trouble, according to Acts, but the real problem was going to be how to carry the money. So I once heard this story, Char, so I don't know if you know this, but people can get credit cards. Yeah. And when you spend with the credit card, you know, it's like if you spend $100 on a credit card, you have to pay $100 on that credit card. Yeah. But sometimes there's rewards, like reward incentive for using the credit card. Like you get miles. And so I heard this story of someone who learned a loophole where he'll buy like thousands of dollars worth of gold, like gold coins, and then just goes back to the bank and pays it off with the gold coins he just bought. Does that make sense? It was just a loophole at the time. That's already been like cleared out, but no, so you spend the money, so you use a credit card. Here, I'll take $100 worth of gold coins. They give you the gold coins. You take the gold coins to the bank. You cash the $100 in your bank. Then you use that $100 to pay off the gold coins you just bought. So let's say you get 300 miles for every let's say 1 mile for every dollar. Let's make it very simple. You get 1 mile to fly every dollar you spend. And so then you spend 100. So you spend 100 on gold coins. They give you the gold coins, and you got the 100 miles. And then you just go back to the bank, cash in the gold coins, and then use the 100 that's in your bank now, and then just pay it off. And now you have 100 free miles.
That still makes no sense, but
Okay.
makes a lot of sense.
But
That analogy made it a little complicated.
okay, well here's the thing though. Part of the story is this person, he has a bunch of gold. Like, and gold is heavy. And so he actually didn't have a car, so he had to carry like big bags of gold. It is so heavy that he had to like put a bag down, then grab the other, go forward, put it back down, go back, grab the other bag, go bring the bag, then
How much pounds is that?
you're talking about hundreds of pounds.
Okay, wow. That's a problem. That's figure out what paracord. Just figure out.
Well,
I'm kidding now.
I guess part of the story is in like someone who's living on the streets just let him borrow one of his shopping carts, and you just push it with the shopping carts, taking the gold to the bank.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
But then, so can you imagine? All right, in the ancient world, they're collecting money for the poor.
Yeah.
Like, what you do with your money really tells you who's your family.
Hello. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
you spend a lot of money on everything that
Well-
you seem like you
Who's
don't
your
need.
family?
You probably have a rich family.
Like, what you do with your money tells what you value. If I
About value computers.
Well-
yeah.
Video game.
well, if you spend all on video games just for self,
That's
it shows-
No.
well, it's like you're just it's like anyone who spends thousands of dollars going to like a game or anything. And I'm talking about like basketball game, baseball game. Like anything, you show what your love is with what you do with your money.
I know somebody that spends $1 million on video
That sounds like a whale. But okay, so here there is the Jesus was the Jewish Messiah, right? Now the Gentiles are now grafted in. But now the Jews in Jerusalem, they're very, very poor. And so they're collecting, Paul is having all the Gentiles pull in a bunch of gold coins.
Yeah.
Now at this time, there's no banks.
No bank.
So
All
the,
you have to do, grab a backpack and go.
well, it's like, so like, there's a whole, like, he is scheming on how to, and it's a good scheme. Scheme's doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means like making a plan.
That's the high school. Then.
Mm-hmm. And so he's scheming with all these people to help the people in Jerusalem. So he's scheming with all the people in Jerusalem, all the Gentiles to help people in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And that says that you're my family.
Yeah.
That the ethnic line, like, so pretty much,
Won't be no point.
well, like, yeah, like being separate. At that time, they're very separate.
Yeah.
They thought Jesus was just for the Jewish people.
But no. No, wait. No, say and 5 million exclamation marks.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, wait. Turn around. I want to show you something. No, wait, look at me. Turn around again. Look at me now.
Well, there you go. Nice.
Okay, ready.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. You ready, Jason?
No, yeah.
Okay. Much better, too, that actual Gentile Christians should come with Paul so that they can meet the Jewish part of the family face to face. But the real problem was going to be how to carry the money. We can only assume that the eventual sum collected would be turned into a small number of high value coins, and that a party of several members would have these concealed about their persons for the journey. They had a long way to go by land and sea and would be in danger from robbers almost every mile of the way. When we hear of this project again, it is a very different context of Paul's second letter, where we learn that all sorts of things have happened which makes the collection at one level more difficult and at another level even more necessary. This has to do as well with Paul's travel plans. Here he is cheerfully planning a midsummer trip around northern Greece. After completing his present stay in Ephesus, but this too was postponed for reasons that will also become clear in the second letter. Paul is very much aware that. Hey, sweet Q. Daddy's reading. You have to ask Mom. That's not my call. Mom's in charge of you. Go ask Mom. Go ask Mom, sweet Q. All right. All right, Jason. Oh.
I'll get it for her. I'm the lollipop. I'm the lollipop.
Oh, looks like Logan got you a lollipop. All right. All right.
Can we open it for you? Can you open it?
All right. Hey, love. We're reading, so hey, sweet Q. Can you either sit on Dad's lap while he reads or go in the living room? Okay. All right. Can someone close the door?
Just gonna bait her out.
Oh, there we go. All right. All right. Here he is cheerfully planning a midsummer trip around northern Greece after completing his present stay in Ephesus, but this too was postponed for a reason that will also become clear in the second letter. Paul is very much aware that all his plans are subject to the will of the Lord. Verse 7, which is not usually clear until last minute, but even he can hardly have expected the difficulties and painful experiences he was going to have to face any day now. Overhearing this part of the letter, but knowing what is to come, we are now in the position of someone watching a movie for the second time, knowing that the car driving so merrily along the road is about to go over a cliff. Even if Paul had known all of this, however, we can be sure that he wouldn't have backed away, as he knew already from this time in Ephesus, where you can get an open door for the gospel, you also usually get opposition. The church today is just as liable as Paul was to all this, and hence just as much in need of humble planning, strategic thinking, and putting all things under the sign of if the Lord's will. All right, friend, we talked enough, and we can start.
Grounded. Stop.
The first one was Logan, the second one was me.
Hey, love, can you pour me a cup of coffee? The rest of the coffee?
I'll get it.
Hold up it.
Huh?
Oh my god, that's actually perfect.
Oh, okay.
Oggy doggy.
No.
All right. Char, do you want pretzels? Do you want pretzels and grounded?
Come on,